welcome to the Big Bang media event. As you all know, we launched a few new mainboards, the Big Bang series. The first one was launched, or announced actually, at the end of October. That was Trinergy. At the beginning of this month, we also launched another one at CES. We introduced Fusion. I'll go into details about both boards later on. First off, a short agenda. I'll start off with an introduction about Big Bang itself. Then I'll show you what kind of Big Bang boards we have. Finally, what's new, what's next, and what else. What's new is about products that we have just recently launched. What's next is about upcoming products. Some products are still to be launched, so you'll get a sneak preview here. And what else? Well, of course, we not only have products like mainboards and VGA, we also have notebooks, all-in-ones, and all other kinds of stuff. So, Big Bang. As you all know, Big Bang is based on Darwin, the evolution theory. It's the beginning of all life. It's the beginning of everything, actually. So MSI, we took this evolution theory and created something new from the start, which is focused on gamers. As you can see here in this picture, it's really focused at the high end. Our first board is Trinergy. Trinergy has various unique features. First off, I'll go tell you something in short, and then I'll go deeper into it later on in the presentation. The first is the performance boost capability. Then we added some unique features to make sure that it's the ultimate listening experience. And finally, we added a lot of high-quality components to ensure very good stability. And this is working. Yeah. Here we go. This is the Trinergy board. As you can see, it uses the familiar black PCB that you already knew from the P55 GD series. And it's... come inside. I'll just continue. We also use the same blue and black color scheme. You can see some features here, like the Super Pipe. It has 3 PCI Express 16 slots, memory slots, of course. Underneath this heatsink, there's a special chip called the NF200. And the NF300, we added it to ensure full 3-way SLE support or triple crossfire support. As you all know, P55 mainboards, the Core i7, they have 16 PCI Express lanes on board. So what happens when you use crossfire or SLE? All those 16 lanes are split up into 2 lanes of 8. So that's not full speed. So what we did was we added NVIDIA the Enforce 200 chip to ensure that both slots, if you use dual crossfire or dual SLI, will run at 16 speed. So you have 16 by 16. If you add a third card, for, say for instance, 3-way SLE, the first slot will run at 16, this will run at 8, and this will also run at 8. Without this chip, that's not possible. There are some solutions from the competition who don't have this chip, and then this one will run at 4, I believe. But it really slows down, and you'll also see that in benchmarks. As you can see here at the scores, a single card scores almost 15,000. When you add a second card, it adds like 10,000 points, and here it's almost double score from this. So what else have we added to Trinergy to ensure overclocking features. The first one is the MSC OC dashboard. As you can see here, it looks really big, but it's a really small case. We have it at the back too, so you can take a look at it after the presentation. On this dashboard, you can see various things. For instance, the CPU fan speed, system temperature, CPU temperature. So all the other things which you usually need special meters for, you can see it, read it directly on your display next to your computer. But not only can you read things, you can also adjust things. There's like the plus and the minus button. And what you can do is adjust the voltages, PCH voltages, VTT voltages. So you can just adjust everything on the fly, and you don't have to go into your system case. Just do it when you're sitting behind your computer. And finally, we also have the direct OC mode. You probably know our P55 GD80 boards or GD65. They also had OC buttons, but they were located on the mainboard itself. So if you wanted to overclock, you had to go inside. Well, we have it also here, but we also added the functionality on our OC dashboard. So what you can do is, in Windows, press the plus or the minus button to look for the maximum frequency that you can reach. And for instance, if you use a program like CPU-Z, where you can read out your all your speeds and voltages, you will actually see that if you press plus, your frequencies will also increase. So that's a really cool feature for overclockers. I've already heard from one reviewer in the Netherlands who was trying to find the maximum overclock speeds for VGA cards. He was like, oh, when I'm running at max speed, it doesn't always run stable. So I need to turn down CPU speed. OC dashboard makes it possible to just press the button a few times on the fly, everything is just, and his benchmarks were run perfectly, just fine. What else have we got for overclocking? We have VKit. This is also part of the P55 GD80. And we have OC Genie. The VKit contains these two blue boxes. The right one are checkpoints. So what you can do is put a multimeter against it and read values. Actually, you can also read most values on the dashboard, but some people just like to use their own meters because they don't trust. They think like, oh, maybe they tampered with the values. So if you want to test it yourself, this is where you put your multimeter and you can read it directly. So you don't have to go looking on the board for, where do I put this? This is just bundled together. Next to it, part of the VKit are the V switches. What you can do here, this is a really overclocking function. You can add increase the maximum voltages. So for instance, in the BIOS, if you overclock, you will maybe hit the wall. So you can't go any further. But if you turn on this switch, you will be able to increase the voltages by maybe 0.2 or 0.3. So this is for power users who need extra juice. And because this is a gaming mainboard, gamers always want the best and the highest FPS, so they can get it by overclocking here. But we're very aware that not everyone is into hardcore overclocking, so we added OC Genie. OC Genie was introduced on our P55 mainboards, and basically what it does is, well, push one button, fire up your system, and it runs at overclock speed. So it says, like it says here, with a simple press of a button, you can overclock your system. You don't need to know anything. Even my grandmother can overclock. She just needs to know how to press a button, and everyone knows how to press a button. Sorry?
She also should know how to